It's time for another Showbiz Spotlight, focusing on the big screen blockbuster, Guardian of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
Are you ready for one last ride?
This is the third and final installment of a trilogy that's been life-changing to all of us.
We have been running our whole lives. Pete, I'm done running.
Let's say that there is a talking space raccoon. Where did he come from? How could he be grounded? How could I feel real about this character? And I realized that this was the saddest creature in the world. This was a little guy who was taken, a little innocent animal and turned into something he didn't ask to be and was like nothing else in the universe. So he was completely alone. To me, that's the seeds of the entire Guardians franchise.
I'm Star-Lord. I formed the Guardians, met a girl, fell in love. That girl died, but then she came back.
It's been almost 10 years now that we've been working together, and we've been coming together sporadically over a decade, and those were quite formative years of our lives. And we get to run around as superheroes every so often. It's actually the best gig ever.
But no matter what happens next, the galaxy still needs its Guardians.
I always had an idea that this was a bigger story than just one movie. And I always knew that I had a fuller story that I needed to tell from the very beginning about Rocket, about Nebula, about Peter Quill. And that's what I think that we've done. Each character has a beginning and an ending. It ends at the end of this movie.
We were always searching for a family
Until we found each other.
The notes of emotion are perhaps plucked a little harder in this volume than previous, just because of the stakes of the characters and the origin story for our beloved Rocket is one that is fairly traumatic.
On the ground!
I feel deeply attached to this character now as well. Like, it's been an amazing exploration for me into, what it feels like to be a scapegoated sibling in a toxic family dynamic, not to get too serious, but...
I get the same old dreams, same time every night.
People come to know the Guardians of the Galaxy by the music, and in this, it's no different. The only difference is that we expand various other decades, 80s, 90s, and the year 2000s as well.
Let's give the galaxy something to remember us by.
People will experience the last adventure, the last hurrah, and it is so Guardians, it's so funny, it's irreverent, but it's also emotional.
Hello, we come in peace. Come on, Drax. Seriously, dude?
The action has really been elevated on this film. I think due to not only the advent of smaller, high-speed cameras that don't require as much light as before, we've been able to, or James has been able to construct these action sequences and stitch together what appear to be long one-shots.
You had me at hello.
If an effect can be done the best with prosthetic effects, and we have more prosthetic effects in this than any movie ever made in the history of film, for real, then I'm going to do that. And if it's best served by doing computer, graphics, then I'm going to do that. So it's really what looks the best, what serves the story.
He didn't want to make things perfect. He just hated things the way they are.
This is a story about compassion. It's about the power of compassion, the power of empathy, and hopefully a little bit of that will soak up.
I want you all to know that I'm grateful to fight beside my friends.
Feel as though they've been taken on a complete journey, that we never cheapened the original titles, that we honor the first two volumes, that we naturally allow it to grow, that we weren't cynically making decisions based on the longevity of the franchise with an eye on the business of like, oh, we better keep these around so we can do a bunch more episodes. This feels final, and I think that is less and less. That happens less and less when industry and art merge, like it does in big business Hollywood with these multi-million-dollar movies, billion-dollar franchises. it's pretty rare that people are willing to let them end in the way that best suits the story, not the way that best suits the business model. And because of that, you get to see really fresh, compelling, inventive storytelling.
All fly away together into the forever and beautiful sky.
Thanks for watching another edition of the Showbiz Spotlight. If you can, please follow, subscribe, and like the Showbiz Syndicate, and check out other reviews and stories. I'm humbled and appreciative.